Join me right now on Kumite TV is Eternal MMA light heavyweight John Fraser. What's going on, John?
Yeah, good man, good. What's going on?
Same old shit, man. Same old shit. I want to talk about how you got to Australia, man. You're originally from the UK. How did you get there on that big ass island?
Yeah, from Swansea, just out of Swansea in Wales in the UK, and me and my partner, my Mrs. Lucy, we decided to go travelling and move around Australia a little bit, and just a bit of a working holiday. And while we ended up settling and falling in love with a place in the Sunshine Coast in Australia, and yeah, a friend of mine was actually working with me, and he was big into jiu-jitsu, Benny, and he was asking me, saying, "You got to come down and have a crack at this." So I went down and fell in love with it for my first session. Started training with the boys from Noke Martial Arts, and yeah, just literally the first session I started with them, just I fell in love with it from a word go, and yeah, one thing led to another, and decided as well to fight, and yeah, and I never looked back since really.
So the original plan was for you to go to Australia, work, and then go back to Wales. But now you've been there for how long?
Oh, coming up to 4 years. Yeah, originally we were just meant to come here for about for a year or so, well, 6 months to a year, just to see what it's like, to just to move country and just try it somewhere else. And yeah, well, it's been 4 years now. Came on in 2015, and almost 4 years. And yeah, I love it here really. It's a good spot in the world. Like the weather makes it a lot easier as well.
When you decided to stay in Australia, and of course you just mentioned that your missus was with you, was she
Yeah.
fully supportive of you pursuing this career as a cage fighter?
Yeah, 100%. To be honest, it's like I started off doing a bit of striking when I was younger. Like my dad's always been into it, so I've always had a bit of a striking background, but I'd never really like chased it. And when I first met her, she was it wasn't part of my life at all. I'd always enjoyed like keeping fit and training, but gotten fat in between, months in, months out. But she when I started doing MMA, yeah, she was like so supportive. She couldn't have been any better. I was and it takes a lot out of your personal life as well. So it's just as much of a sacrifice for her as it is for me. And she's been absolutely great throughout it all. Like and it is. I've had to miss birthdays. I've missed a birthday of hers because I was actually cutting weight on her birthday. But she didn't bat an eyelid. She didn't care. She just like, yeah, you do whatever you've got to do, and we'll celebrate after your fight and stuff. So yeah, I couldn't have asked for anyone better than in that sense. And it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time for me. Let alone her missing things. But no, she's been great throughout it all. To be honest.
Yeah, it's so important for a fighter to have someone outside the gym that
Yeah.
supports them, fully because without them, man, it's just like who do you have?
Yeah, that's right. No, especially being on the other side of the world as well.
Yeah. Now let's talk about your career so far. You started out as an amateur. You
Yeah.
won the XFC light heavyweight title as an
Yeah.
amateur, and then you went pro. You won your first two fights very impressively.
Yeah.
Your last two fights, you faced off against some heavy hitters. You went to the judges in both fights. Can you break down those fights and what you learned from each one?
Yeah. My first loss as a professional against Carlos. He's he's very 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 good striker, and like during the fight, I actually thought that I was doing enough to edge the fight, and looking back and in hind, like I've watched the fight back like 3 or 4 times, and like there's no dispute. He definitely took the fight, but he was just a little bit more active, and a little bit more accurate in the strikes. And at the time, like looking back in hindsight, I should have pressured it a lot more, just thrown caution to the wind. But it was a really good learning experience for me as well, going against someone that's such a technical, and he's a really advanced striker, Um, but yeah, if I could run it back, I would have just done a little bit more. He just did that little bit more. And with my most recent one with Nathan Reddy, yeah, that's a massive step up for me again. And he fought a smart fight. He came out aggressive, and he's a heavy hitter. He was. and he's very strong with the wrestling and stuff, you know. And he's just, yeah, I think I was a little bit over. I think I showed a little bit of inexperience in that fight, you know. I just, I rushed things where I could have sat back and just been a little bit more patient. And it was just a couple of points where I hurt him with a leg kick, and I just rushed in, just got too excited, you know. But I think that's something that'll grow more and more every fight I have. And yeah, I hadn't actually done that since being in the amateurs where I'd rushed in like that. But no, like, I take my hat off to him. He fought a good fight, you know. He's strong with his wrestling, and he's good at the striking too, you know. He's a lot better at striking than I thought he was going to be. And yeah, I'd love to fight those boys again, like, you know, if I ever go back up to light heavyweight. But yeah, for now I'm gonna have a crack at middleweight. I think it's a lot better suited for me, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those two guys, nobody wanted to fight them because if
Yeah,
like Carlos, he has a long, long history of striking, and he might only have a couple fights, but man, he's very well versed in the striking arts. And then Nathan Reddy, he's probably the number one light heavyweight in
yeah,
Australia, and you took them
yeah,
both on. Like, you didn't even bat an eye. You're just like, hey, I'll fight both of those guys, and it shows like the grit that you have and like the ambition you have for excelling at this sport. Now you move on. You're facing another pretty decent opponent in Daniel Almeida. He's come back after a long layoff and has won two in a row very impressively. What are your thoughts on him and the style he brings?
yeah. Daniel, obviously his jiu-jitsu is just his bread and butter. Like, you know, he's there's no mistakes there. Like, I'm not going to take his striking lightly either. You know, he's still got a pair of hands and feet exactly the same as I have. But his grappling is definitely going to be his strong point in the fight. You know, and he's a very, very experienced grappler. I actually grappled him in Grappling Industries last year, in the Absolute and the Nogi, but it went to a referee's decision. It was mostly like standing. You know, we didn't actually get a chance to properly grapple. We were just both defended each other's takedowns, and it went to more of the ref's decision. But yeah, it's an interesting fight, isn't it? He's a very good grappler, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But like I said, I'm not taking his striking lightly either. Like, you know. But no, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's good to drop down to. I'm feeling better now than I ever have before. I wish I'd gone to middleweight sooner. Yeah, the cut hasn't been hard on me either. It's been I've had to diet and be real strict to get the weight down, but it hasn't affected my training. If anything, it's been the best camp I've ever had. You know, it hasn't affected it at all. I've had more energy. I've actually sorted out with a nutritionist this time around, and it's made a world of difference. It's like for this fight, you know, I felt better, more energized throughout all my training, and well, with the fight, it's actually at a catch weight now at 88. Daniel's actually had some sickness, so he unfortunately couldn't make 84. But I'm happy to fight him at 88. So yeah, so it's just going to be an easy cut for me now, like the easiest cut I've ever had, I think. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
How you feeling? You're supposed to go down to middleweight, but now you have an extra, I believe, 4 kilos, right? So you
Yeah,
don't
that's
you
it.
could
Yeah,
eat a lot more now. You could eat, a little. You could kind of cheat a little bit, right?
yeah. Oh, it's made a massive difference. Just like a couple of more carbs, like, you know. But yeah, this last 2 weeks since I found out his catch rate, it's like, all right, then no worries. I would have made 84, but 88 is just going to be a breeze, and I get more energy for the last couple of weeks training, you know. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
happy with it. Well,
it could be a blessing in disguise, right? Because instead of just dropping all the way down to 84, now you kind of do it slowly. You go to 88, and then your next fight you could go to 84, and it kind of might have more benefits for you.
oh, 100%. Yeah, it's just added a nice little stepping stone for me for when I do get to 84. So yeah, it's a win-win all round, really. Like, I would have fought Dan if Daniel said he couldn't make weight. I would have fought him at 100 kilos. You know, as long as he. I had a bit of bad luck last year. Like, I had four opponents no, not four opponents. I had two opponents pull out, and I had two full show cancellations. So it was a bit of a rough year with getting fights for me last year. So I would have fought him at any weight, like, you know, as long as I get the fights. It's heartbreaking when someone pulls out. So I'm just happy that he's actually coming to the fight, you know.
You're at Noke Martial Arts. You know, how is it over there training with, you know, the Noke brothers?
Yeah, it's so good, you know, and yeah, like you got so much experience there, you know, with Kyle Nelson and then Uncle Larry. Yeah, they got so much experience between Kyle being in the UFC for however many years he was. I think it's 6 or 7 years, and you got Nelson and Larry as well. They've been doing, you know, they've been coaching boys for the last, I think it's 10 or 15 years or something like that. So, you know, there's so much experience there, and they're really good people as well. Like, you know, from word go from going there, they were just, yeah, they're just my kind of people. Like, you know, they welcome in, they're good boys. Like, and they're the same to everyone. You know.
Throughout the last 4 years of training, you know, what aspect of mixed martial arts do you feel that you have excelled at?
I don't know. I think considering I've been relatively new to jiu-jitsu. Like I only started jiu-jitsu in 2016, so it's only coming up to, what is it, 3 years? Is it? So like the amount of time I've had in jiu-jitsu, I think I've excelled the most in that. I've improved the most with that. You know, going from nothing to I feel like I feel like I'm a relatively a natural for it. You know, the amount that the amount that I've progressed in the amount of time. But my most comfortable area is the striking. You know, because it's something I've done from a young age. But since coming out here and training with Kyle and Nelson, I really have I've improved so much in the last, you know, in the last year. Even my striking's come on so much. So probably my striking is where I'm most comfortable. But where I've excelled and improved the most is probably my jiu-jitsu, and I love it. You know, all of it. To be honest, I just wish I'd started from a young age. You see kids, you see the kids in the gym, and they're only like 10 years old, and they got like the skills of a purple belt and stuff. You know, it's crazy, it's madness. But I wish I started at that age. Yeah, that would be so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just little assassins everywhere, all over the world, huh?
Oh, killers! You know, if they keep it up when they're in their 20s, they're going to be animals, man. Absolute animals. They're way better than I am now. You know, like they're only small little kids. But no, it's good.
All right, well, you know, your upcoming fight against Daniel, you know, how do you visualize this fight? You know, what do you see this? How do you see this fight, you know, going down?
Um, yeah, I think Daniel's going to be shooting a lot. He might not, but I'd put my bets on that he's going to be shooting. Yeah, I'm going to try and keep it on the feet, and I'm happy if it does go to the ground. I'm comfortable there as well, you know. I'm gonna, yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm not too worried about what he's going to do, because, you know, he could change it up, and he could have been working on his striking a lot the last couple of years. I don't know, but yeah, I'll try and keep it standing, and hopefully get a finisher. That's the plan, anyway. But I'm ready.
Right.
I could go 5 rounds now. You know, I'm more than ready for 3.
All right, man. Well, July 27th, you get to step back into that cage. Eternal MMA 46, Southport Sharks, Gold Coast. Thank you, John, man, for your time, and good luck on everything that you have now and in the future.
Nice one. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.